One. All right. It is 9:53, September 13th. God damn.
On the East Coast.
We have Mr. Michael Boyer, the Crystal Methodist in the building, sir. I appreciate you being in the house and having my first interview of the regular season, sir.
Man, it's an honor to be in high society, Jason. You're the best
Sir,
commissioner. You're the best commissioner on the planet.
that fucking jocking my nuts, bro. The pleasure is all mine, dog. All mine. For the people at home, bro, like I started fantasy football joining a league with David, right? So it was
Yep.
with you guys. So like it really honestly means more than you know. And I'm sorry to everybody else in this league, but like it really means more to you know that you and Kamal are like joined and have been with me through this. So
Fully committed, man.
thank you, dog. So, Mr. Boyer, sir, to backtrack, man, you coming off a 7-7 record, bro. Finished
Ugly season.
fourth in the division, dog. Went 1-2 in the toilet bowl, dog. Won your first game and you lost your last two, bro. But
Look, I was surprisingly close to last place, which was I didn't realize it until like after the fact because I finished 7-7. So I was kind of like, all right, I'm middle of the pack. I don't have to worry about it. But it looks like the overall standings had me at like 10th, and that's terrifying.
that's you. We both know that that's not really what your squad looks like, bro. So I mean, it
I felt
sucks.
that way too.
It sucks because it's a fucking long year, but we both know that that is a fucking outlier.
Well, I mean, you hope, right? Because you can do it's not like I'm changing my strategy, right? I mean, year to year, we all have our identities. I feel like we're starting to like see each other for like our tendencies in this league. Like it's maturing enough now that you can kind of like you have some sort of profile in each manager. At least I do. You know what I mean?
Right.
So people
I
know I'm going to
feel
be cheap.
if anything, I feel like the league is catching up with you guys.
Sure.
With being you, Kamal, and Jason being, one of the more savvy guys in more than a redraft league for starters, and we did snake in here for so long. So I popped a lot of fucking cherries just with auction, first of all, let alone dynasty. So
Yeah, man. Well, man, I think my first year in here was my best year, and then I've had to kind of like pipe down because the last two seasons have just been like regression. It's tough. I can't remember my record the first season, but I think it was like auction, but we didn't do like keepers after that one, right? That was we reset for dynasty.
we did a hard reset before you were there. So you were there from the ground floor, definitely for dynasty purposes. Well, to kickstart your fucking season, bro, you shit, and that's putting it mildly on the
Yeah.
not so money team, Danny Hernandez, hitting reminiscence and flashbacks of fucking Mayo Babs already dipping and dodging, dog. Week one.
Man, I uh I was nervous the morning of, man. I remember texting you. I was like, yo, AJ Dillon or Elijah Moore in the flex. I want to take away, I kind of want to play a head game, right? Because I've been on the other side of that because he's running Aaron Jones at the flex. And there is the narrative about, what is the timeshare? What is the split? Who's the alpha legitimately in that backfield this year, right?
Yeah.
So I just had like a feeling that it would be that would be a competitive advantage. I just got lucky with Fitzpatrick, bro. I think I looked like I just opened the app early in the day and it was already at like 15 points because my man had like a pick six, like
Right.
early in the game. So the whole day was like that. I just like kind of caught the wave and rode it.
I
Saquon, and you know what I mean? Nobody
how do you feel about your overall your draft, man? Because you came in there you came in there, and I know, again, I'm sorry to be candid saying everybody, but you came in there, not at least not sure of what your game plan was, bro. And I personally feel that you fucking knocked it out of the park.
Well, I appreciate that. Right now, it's not looking, outside of Saquon, it's not looking spectacular, right? Because Kittle is out. He didn't play week one. And then I've got Shaq Leonard from the Colts, the linebacker, on my IR because, he was coming off of like some sort of offseason back surgery. I didn't expect Kittle to get hurt so soon. So, reminiscent of last year. But dude, Saquon. I mean, like what I knew going into the draft was, all right, I have a big check here because like I only have like what 4 spots to fill:
Yeah, bro.
kicker,
Pretty much, he could have pretty much
linebacker.
could have walked away with whatever you wanted, bro.
Yeah, and I knew that CMC was going to get run up, and there was like talk in various groups in the league, like day before, day of, people filling each other out. So I kind of backed up because I got a sense that nobody really knew what they were doing.
Yeah,
Right. And
I
so
agree.
in a situation where you've got on the board CMC, Zeke, Saquon, and then take your pick, Kareem Hunt. Who else was on the board in that draft at running back?
Zeke,
There was there
Kareem
was a
Hunt,
surprisingly like
Zeke
productive selection of backs, right?
was out there, but it wasn't really that the it wasn't a lot of household names per se.
No. Well, it fell off a cliff too after like, I don't know, 5 or 6 names. But I mean, to be fair, if you've got like if you've got a good budget, you kind of want to see where people are going. I knew CMC was going to go super high, and I wasn't sure if I was going to make it run a Kelsey either, because that was another name in the hat, right? Um, but Saquon was somebody that the reports on in the offseason had just been like everything was positive and like cautiously positive, right? Everybody was like, we've seen it, but everybody believed it was a freak series of, back-to-back injuries, which I could agree with, right? Because I've had shares of Saquon in other leagues in previous years, right? I know what his top end is, and I know what it's like to not have his ass, and that's horrible, right? But man, I did not expect the pop from him in week 1. I was even considering early before week 1 started trying to make, a quick last minute trade. And Saquon was a name that I was willing to like push to people just to see what would get mirrored back. So, um, man, running back depth is crazy right now. It's so
You have
crucial.
some depth, bro. I like your depth. I overly enjoy looking at your roster. How do you feel having the fucking most jocked player in high society?
I feel great. Dude, it's great. Everybody should do it. You should do it at least once. Make it a point. Have the one guy.
How many offers, like, do you feel a week? Let's just say.
Man, I think maybe in the limited dealings that I've had, number one, like when you look at a player like Justin Jefferson and you look at his price tag, I don't know, I'm this way. I don't know if you're this way or other people are, but sometimes I just talk myself out of even wanting to engage with that guy for that player,
I
right?
agree.
Because it's just going to be such a headache. You're like, I don't even know how to argue against whatever the fuck he would want for that player. You know what I'm saying? And the great thing with Justin Jefferson is, dude, it paid. Like that mentality over the offseason paid. Because there was a moment when I was entertaining moving him for several high draft picks for this rookie draft. And I think it was just a little bit of like space between the end of the season and the off season gearing up for the future, just saying like, okay, you know, yeah, what is the what's the market value here? And I'm glad I was like, you know, sought second, third, fourth, 17th opinions, and then just like held tight. You know what I mean? Because it could have floated away. That guy would have just like floated away into the ether. You know what I mean?
For the people at home, is there a price tag? Is
I don't know, man. That's like the way I see it. That's why I said everybody should do it once because it's just bliss, right? It doesn't matter. Even he could get hurt tomorrow, knock on wood. But I mean, like getting week 1 right, it's such a big way is crazy. Like the bounce on that is nuts.
definitely
Nuts.
got that big dick energy for
Yeah,
fucking
man.
sure. Like, bro, you dropped 187.25 points. The next closest person to you was 24.5 points away. That's like what a fucking quarterback drops.
Unless you're Patrick Mahomes or, who the fuck has Patrick Mahomes?
Chris.
Yeah, great draft. He was in the draft. He was in the auction too. See what I mean? Names everywhere.
Yeah.
That's why I just didn't know because I mean I'm sitting on Justin Herbert, right? But what's wrong with having another just like superpower at the position.
It's frustrating, I'll tell you that, bro. I was
Is it?
waffling so much between Lamar and Hurst, and I don't know if I can handle that a full fucking season. I love the prices on both, and
But
I
who
don't
do
see
you
why.
obviously like Lamar more or no? Is the problem that you don't know?
The problem is, yeah, I really don't know. I really
Man,
honestly don't know.
I'm rooting for Lamar.
I want to, man, but I'm low key, not low key. I am extremely nervous
Dude,
that
let
he'll
Dobbins
be
get
like,
back.
yo, y'all didn't pay me. You're gonna get the fucking bare minimum. You feel me?
You're
Like,
gonna
yo, I
get
really
Tyler
want back
Huntley.
this game.
he's gonna
Exactly.
he's gonna tell Huntley to put his jersey on before the
Yo,
game, bro.
suit him up, bro. You about to get this second quarter, you know? Like,
You're gonna have to check his ID, bro.
like I don't know, man.
Uh, no, he wouldn't do that. I mean, it's I don't know if I was reading it or listening to it, but one way or the other, of course, there's that version of it, like, man, there must be some tension. And the other version of it is that there's not any tension at all, right? That both sides like think it's in, a mutual interest, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. We'll see. I think he'll be fine. Man, he needs help though, like in the backfield. And that's what's so devastating about the Dobbins and Edwards situation for that franchise, right? I mean, they're sitting on like good years of Lamar's career with all the other component pieces seemingly in place, right? You've got Mark Andrews, who's emerged as a top tier blue chip tight end,
Yeah.
right? And then your franchise is shaking itself out because the point of frustration with the offense was Marquise Brown, right? No matter what that was like between Lamar and them personally, I don't know. It just felt like Hollywood never got it going for them.
I don't
So
think so, man. The dude had more drops than catches, in my opinion. I mean, like the guy was good. He made splash plays, but it's like it was either him or Andrews, bro. Like, so
and Andrews was there every week, man, like clockwork.
agreed. Agreed. I definitely don't think that, at least they're definitely not helping him develop his passing game at all. I don't feel they did him any favors. I like Bateman, but like the dude is still a rookie, right? He had, what was it, one or two catches? I mean, that was a nice ass catch, but that was
He's
it.
is he a second year guy or a second year?
Second year, yes, sir. Yeah, this
Okay.
is second year.
I saw him. Duvernay is the third year, right? Because I remember having Duvernay like back a
He was
couple of
the year.
seasons, like waiting for that guy to make the leap, and then all of a sudden it's like he's a late bloomer. Because I
Yeah,
saw a few of his plays those were good too. But that's what I mean is like Baltimore just has playmakers all over the ball. So I wish their backfield was like
I mean, but like, are those
could get
guys
back to health.
starting any other team? Is Duvernay starting? Is Duvernay even a second or third string on another team? Like,
Take him in Carolina, bro. Tomorrow.
nah, bro. I still like that roster too, bro. They even got LaVishka out there, bro. Like,
What did I say? Just conjuring like whatever is in the magic book at this time. Like they're just turning the page, like, all right, try this spell. Like LaVisca comes out, like fuck. God damn it.
um, so how do you feel about your Panthers? For the people at home, you're a Carolina Panther fan. Have you been a Panther fan your whole life?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, yeah, since I think the franchise started in what, 95, 96, 97, right? So it's not a very old franchise. And Charlotte as a city, it hasn't been as prominent or as developed as it is now for
Booming
the
now,
majority of its existence, right? So um it's all the franchises there are like really new. And so there's like a new energy around it. So it's been tough the last several seasons because we had that meteoric rise. Delhomme did his thing, right? And then, but that was sort of like a one-off. Drafting Cam, experiencing Cam Newton come into the National Football League and just dominate like with impunity, right? His rookie year, set
right?
records, bring that sort of momentum to the franchise. Dude, it's unreal to watch that kind of stuff happen. And then in recent years, and sort of the other side of Cam's career arc, right, is his fall from grace. So being a fan during that was like really divisive because a lot of people, wanted him to be the guy for the duration of his career, but something changed, man, along the way. People speculate, was it the hit he took in the Super Bowl, right? Um, and other stuff. But, you know, right now having someone like Christian McCaffrey, what did I say during the offseason? I think I said I would have built around a trade package and sent Christian McCaffrey to Houston in exchange for Deshaun, right?
Yeah.
I just think that like Carolina hasn't had like that franchise quarterback that was consistently next level yet, right? We've had breakouts in several quarterbacks, but Cam was like the peak, and that's still kind of bitter as a fan. You know what I mean? It was just such a weird fall from grace seeing him like, go down the way he did. Franchise handled it terribly. Owner was forced out, right? So we've got the new ownership in David Tepper, you
That's
know,
right. That's right. I forgot
right?
that there was a change. There was a change of ownership. Like it went like
Yeah.
that.
So Jerry Richardson was the founder, and he also is, as a point of trivia, founder of Hardee's.
Oh,
Yeah,
really?
yeah. So that's a piece of like Southern history.
Oh,
It's
that's ironic, huh? All
You know what I
right.
mean?
Yeah.
So he like built the franchise up to where it was until the point that, cancel culture caught up with him. And, we saw all that stuff like in the NBA with Donald Sterling. We're seeing it now with like I think another like franchise owner in the NBA. NFL's gotten that way too, man. It's just like people care about like the image of the person that controls so much wealth and influence. You know what I mean? It's a
As
interesting time to
as
be
you
alive.
should.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So, Panthers fan, of course. I've got another Panthers fan in here. Kamal is obviously my brother in that. And Kamal has his own opinions. Yeah. Um, it's cool. I would like us to like, I look at the like a franchise like the Bengals and feel like, man, that could be us. You know what I mean? We're just like one or two moves from something as like scary as that, you know?
I hear that. Can you see my screen?
Absolutely.
So these are what Fantasy Pros over here are projecting, and I just wanted you to see this. As far as this year, you have the best odds to not only make the playoffs, one of the best records. And if we filter it to what I wanted to show you was your dynasty prospects of
What
what,
is this? Do you have an account on Fantasy Pros?
yes. So, bro, just get Fantasy Pros, and what you can do
Wow.
rest of season, dynasty rankings,
Wow.
number two.
Wow.
So anyways, go to Fantasy Pros when this is free. And then what you do, bro, is I got the Hall of Fame. They have these betting sites. And on these betting sites is a whole bunch of filter and look through on here, bro. But they have FanDuel, DraftKings. They have a couple different ones. Go to one that you don't have. All you do is again get it'll go through here, so it'll lead you to it. All you do is deposit $5, $10, and then after that you get 2 months of the Hall of Fame package.
Oh, wow.
Play something. Doesn't even matter if you win or lose. Play something. It costs $1. You play an entry, you get 6 months of the Hall of Fame.
So you're just riding free Hall of Fame package right now.
Just to play free. To play free. And that's how I get literally all my all of my content.
That's a guy right there to talk about Michael Thomas, man. I gotta admit, I was like, I'm not even sure if I'm fully persuaded, but dude, my man was just gone for 2 whole years.
I traded him away and I traded him away in your league because
Yeah.
I didn't believe at all whatsoever. Yeah, you're right. I feel like it's too soon to see, but it's definitely promising. Definitely promising. Um, So again, man, you have the best projections to not only make it to the playoffs but finish in the regular season. You got the second best dynasty prospects in this fucking league. I personally think your fucking roster is bomb. I love Saquon. If you could get some production out of fucking Dobbins, which I definitely feel that you'll get it. Maybe I don't know when, but I feel like when it matters, you know, you'll fucking have it. You got a strong quarterback, bro. Your wide receiver game is making Curvan's team look like shit. No offense, Curve. The wide receiver goat, not this year, my brother. Like ridiculously cheap players, bro. Like how
Yeah,
you managed to
that
put that
started. That's
together,
something I
bro.
leaned into, bro. That's something I leaned into. So the pillars of the Crystal Methodist Church, as it were,
Please.
are Justin Herbert and Justin Jefferson. And together, what they cost $12 for me on my roster this year. So during the off season, when I was, taking stock of my assets and like trying to identify my holes and how I was going to go about it, that was what made it really impossible to even consider negotiations for either of those guys, is that having those two positions locked down for so cheap at such an advantage, right? In terms of week to week head up matchups. Like one of my receivers is going to beat the other wide receiver one, right?
Right.
Consistently. My QB is going to consistently outperform the other QB, and I don't have to pay shit for that insurance policy, right? So, man, I can't believe I have Saquon. I was so torn on him, Zeke, Hunt, and then the other positions that were available. I think Tyreek Hill was available in the draft, right? So there were some guys out there that I could have paired with Justin Jefferson that I was considering too. Because even though Mike Will is so cheap, I think he's like $4,
$4.
right? So that's another, so 16 between those three, which is cool. You got the stack with Herbert, right?
Wide
Extremely
receiver
cheap,
ones, QB ones.
right? So, um, and not that Mike Williams did anything to warrant 40 and slip there. Mike Evans, Mike Williams, they do the same shit. So you know what I'm saying?
Hey, nah.
I'm
There's
starting to feel like I
differences.
can't really talk shit about Mike Evans anymore because I have a love affair with Mike Williams, and I'm like, y'all are the same person now.
You can when it's fucking $4 versus what,
Yeah.
what was his fucking price, bro? Yeah, nah. You can definitely talk shit.
Oh
Definitely
man.
warrants that, man.
Well, dude, like I don't know. Let's see some other rosters that I like a lot in this league. I mean, of course, Jason D's roster is still incredible, right? Right. So what did he trade away Josh Allen?
He
Because I
no, I
feel
had Josh Allen. I traded away Josh Allen.
but was Josh Allen on his roster at any point? I feel like for whatever reason, I feel like he was, but maybe I'm wrong.
No,
Because for the longest, I thought that he had the stack with Josh Allen and Stephon Diggs, which would at this point just be ridiculous, right?
agreed. No, he
That would
did
be
have Josh
crazy.
Allen.
But dude, DeAndre Swift went nuts, right? Dude, AJ Brown went nuts. Think about so I traded away AJ Brown.
I had no faith in him, to be honest with you, bro.
Dude, he went bananas. Bananas.
Do you think that's something that he'll consistently do?
I hope not, for Devontae Smith is like my man
He's
is
like, yo,
looking
it's
dead
his
out
boy. It's his first game there. Like he's trying to make it a fucking point to
here.
force
Man,
feed him.
I saw a stat or
He
something
went
that was
like
like,
0 for 0, right? Did like I thought he was inactive or something, bro.
no, dude, he 0.0. He had 4 targets, no catches. And get this, apparently he ran the most routes on the team.
Whoosh!
So just got ghosted. He was out there sending you up texts. It wasn't getting shared the whole game. Like, hey, it still just wasn't happening.
Did you see my? I called you. I'm not sure if you got my message.
Yo.
You good?
Oh man. It's painful. Tony too, bro. Tony got like abused in these fantasy streets this year or this game. He
I
had
don't
2
know, man.
carries. He had 2 carries.
Tony. Yeah. Do you going forward, do you have faith in rolling Dylan over Eli? Or I mean, like
ETN.
I was more on a wait and see approach. I actually apologize because I told you to go Eli over Dylan. It ended up being
Well,
reversed.
dude, I favored that, right? It was easy for me to accept that. Like, number one, the projection for Moore was better than Dylan's. So consensus was that Moore was the better play,
Right.
right? Just on a like consensus rankings basis, which is fine. But my thing again was like, I kind of like to play games with the opponent to the extent I can, right? Especially come playoff time
Right.
when if you're a little bit more fluid at your IDPs, right? Finding the IDPs that in some way compete with one of their key players, right? That's an old strategy from another league's opponent that I learned, right? So getting the linebacker to match the running back on the opposing team, right? Things like that. So where every time they're in possession, you're in possession too, right? Just like key little things like that in fantasy are really like, I think that goes overlooked in dynasty because guys are so locked in on all the guys on their roster that they don't have fluidity to make like, you know, interchangeable decisions on emotionally that way, right? You want to be emotional about Saquon and Justin Herbert, right?
Yeah.
And now I'm emotional about Fitzpatrick, which blows because I won't switch him out, bro. But like, my man popped off for 35 week 1, but defensive line, linebacker, I drafted a linebacker, but I'm living without him right now, right? So I don't know. What do you think, man? How are you seeing the season shape up?
I definitely think that it's going the way that I saw. I mean, like Chris had a good game. You had a, I mean, I definitely didn't
Well, dude, you
anticipate that
popped
much
off
of
too,
Chris.
right? So were you
Um,
second highest?
I did, man, but I just feel if anything, I got lucky with my opponent 1 and 2, man. Like my 2 key positions, man. I was so big and bullish on Eli Mitchell, and like I
Yeah, I
lost
forgot
that.
about that, man. Yeah.
Losing CMC really honestly like shook me, bro. Like,
Yeah, you just didn't commit to going more than you know what I mean?
yeah, which I'm actually happy with, man, because I'm much as Godwin got hurt, which is sucks. I got the depth at wide receiver, which I didn't fucking have.
What did DK do last night points wise? I didn't look, but I saw him
Eight,
on the field.
8, 5, but like I'm
He
so
had a
glad that I
fumble too,
didn't end
though.
up having to need him, man. And I'm even, I
But he had
mean,
a fumble too, bro. So I mean, like watching that game, Gino was putting him in spots that Russ didn't usually put him in, right? Like I saw a couple, especially one like stretch catch over the middle of the field in between some defenders, right? He
yeah,
just put it at a point where he knew
it's like it's
no
a
one
jump
compete
ball.
with
He has
DK.
no way to do anything after the catch. It's like he's becoming a possession guy, if that.
Well, I'm interested in DK. Come make a deal.
Talk to me.
What's his salary?
His salary is, I think, like in the 30s, 30 range. 30 even.
I'm interested in him and Kareem Hunt. I know that's Kamal, right? That's Kamal's baby.
Well, you got to talk to Kamal on that one.
Who else?
Do
Dude,
you think?
CEH is looking like a snack right now. Good God.
Oh, I feel that like, man, I don't gotta Pacheco. And that's not even me having Pacheco in your league. Yo, Chris, you overpaid for Pacheco, dog.
Pay Checo is really
You overpaid for him, dog. I hope that he fucking pans out, but overpaid for him, bro. Um, I wanted him too, so fuck, I ain't gonna lie. I
wow,
definitely
man.
already bidding that up, but I don't think CEH is it, bro. Uh,
Dude, I don't know. I have faith. I drafted him in this league and I held on to him for an additional season, right? So I feel like he's been really unlucky. Dude, the news that he had like gallbladder surgery or
no
some shit like
idea.
that.
I was just about to
How did
get
they keep that out of like any sort of information that was being freely
he's
exchanged? Dude,
trash.
we know like, bro.
That's why, nigga, we don't believe in you. Fuck out of here. You ain't sick.
All right, so
Here's my doctor's note. Nah, bitch.
Clyde, come here. So here's the play. we're gonna say you had gallbladder surgery instead of saying that you're just a lightweight motherfucker, okay? And then we're gonna go, we're gonna send you home, we're gonna make you eat peanut butter
You
for
fucking
3
insolent,
months.
bro.
Oh my god, they said he was down to like 165.
That's wild, bro. How are you playing as an NFL back?
So I mean, that's believable, right? Shed that much weight. That's crazy. There's no way you can be like who he is as a back at that weight in the NFL. No way. So
Especially in
you
that.
know, I like to pick up. I think he's cheap anyway, right? And what we got, like, how much time do we have left? Dude, let's go through some players that we really like this year that are not on our rosters.
Who is somebody in this league that you looking for? Who do you want to shoot your shot at, bro?
All right. I'm gonna go one. Let's do one each per team. And we can agree on that player per team. But let's just do one each per team.
Okay.
All right, let's start with Chris, TD Waddlehouse.
Chris, I really still got a fucking hard on for Brees Hall.
Me too, bro. Please give me Breeze.
You need to lower your standards, Chris.
Just pull him to the side, right?
Come holler at me, baby girl. What about you? Would you agree?
Same, man. Same. And you know, Drake London, he had a really good first game, right?
I'm actually nervous, bro. I'm actually nervous about the soft tissue injury, dog. Like, is this gonna be a consistent thing? I'm glad that he did good. I don't even want to talk. I really don't even want to fucking talk about the game, to be honest with you.
Okay, we don't have to.
Please. Bro, like I was so
Dude,
excited that they
the
were gonna
NFC
fucking
South
win.
looks like shit, bro. We look like
It
shit.
is. God, it hurts. It hurts my feelings, dog.
All right, let's go to Kamal's team. CD's boys.
Where do I even fucking start, bro? You go first.
I want Mixon, man. I love Mixon.
Do you really, bro?
Yeah, I do. I do.
Um,
And I avoided saying one name in particular. It's not even worth going there.
yeah, I know he ain't getting rid of Javante, bro. But Javante, I'm still, dog. I'm telling you, bro. I loved my roster in fucking Prestige, dog. Like it hurts my heart, bro. To this day, remember when I drafted this nigga, bro? The first thing that I fucking heard in the background was Davis bitch ass dad. Oh, that's Melvin Gordon's job. He ain't gonna get the job, bro. Never will be able to see him me bust this fucking dude's ass. Michael Parsons, do you think that he's that dude, bro?
Let's see. What did he do? What did he do last night?
He put up 13.
5 tackles and 2
75.
sacks.
Yeah.
I mean, man, couple sacks in game 1.
Coming out the blocks hot.
Dude, and your quarterback goes down. They had no offensive presence, bro.
Dog, do they fucking wrap up the season right now, bro?
Dude, it doesn't look great. And I mean, that's not good for Zeke or Pollard, right? When you think about it for like their career prospects. You know what I'm saying?
But he's
Like,
on
you know,
1 million, like he's on a cheap ass deal. He could walk. It's Zeke that if anything looks worse, right? Like even if
man,
he does a fire, even if he's healthy, bro, just by default to how shitty that quarterback play is gonna be, right? Like his play's gotta go down.
it's kind of crazy if you think back. Remember when Zeke was negotiating his deal and he was holding out and all that stuff? Like he was one of the first in this generation of like elite prospect running backs, like, you know, that asserted his clout and just said, "No, I'm good. I'm holding out until you guys figure your shit." And like, remember the impacts, the reverberations that had on Dak getting a contract, right?
His stuff.
Think about how like Zeke has delayed the evolution of that franchise. Like he just like stopped in the middle of everything, was like, nope, figure this shit out right now. I'm not waiting. Right?
Cooper walked away because of money.
Dude, they lost Amari Cooper. Can you imagine this team right now, Micah Parsons and Trayvon Diggs in year 2 on defense with that sort of energy coming off of their performances last year, still having Amari Cooper and a healthy Dak, right? That's a different team, man.
We got to get into this 2-minute warning, bro. We're going to go into John.
All right, you go.
Najee Harris, bro. I had a hard on for him off. I tried everything to get Najee
Hey,
from
John,
him.
come get your boy Warren. I've got him for you.
You
I
need
want Chubb
somebody.
though. I want Chubb from his roster. I got a Chubb for Chubb.
Chubb. Holla at my boy. Andrew. League running back winner from last year, bro. Shout out to the 3-time champ.
Jahan Dotson, bro. I'm just gonna jump in front of you.
Do you really, man? I was low. I did not think his size would translate, bro.
I've just never been that low on Carson Wentz. Like I know he gets a lot of shit and he's an awkward dude. Like he just doesn't have like a cool brand. The dude's just a fucking nerd, right? But he plays football, bro. So I think with like, dude, if Jahan Dotson is who he is advertised to be, that franchise is gonna be great. All right, let's keep going.
I like Pickens from there. We're going on
Dude,
the
me
Shaq's
too.
team. Yo, Julio, shout out to Julio fucking Jones, bro. Shout out to fucking Julio Jones.
Dude, all right. I'll say Devontae Adams. Shout out to Devontae for just like being the same beast in a different uniform.
Yo, those fucking hands is crazy,
Dude,
dog. I
same
definitely
beast,
underestimated
same
him.
beast in a different uniform. I love that.
I definitely would say he's definitely one of those two. Let's go to Nick.
AJ Brown. I already like alluded to that, but bro, that was an impressive performance. You should ride that wave.
I'd say AJ. Sutton underperformed. What did Sutton put up, bro? Sutton
Dude.
put up, what, 12 points?
Dude,
12
that
points.
team looked weird last night. Jerry Jeudy had a night though.
Surprisingly, right?
Yep.
Jason's team. Swift.
I still love Eckler, man.
Think
Keep
so.
going.
What did he put up last game?
Like 9 or something.
10. 14 for 36. He just didn't get in the box. A different game. Less than a minute. Mike C. CMC, baby.
Garrett Wilson.
Garrett Wilson. Did he even get any love, bro? He was pretty quiet.
Dude, but Joe Flacco threw like 59 pass attempts. Or something crazy. 53. Something crazy. Keep going.
Curvan's team.
Michael Carter.